Good afternoon, all of you. In the post-lunch session, hope you done your lunch and also take a small nap. Now, we'll move to our next session by our principal sir on group learning process. Please, sir.
So I hope we have enough time today to regain the energy, and hope everybody is attentive and paying more attention than before what we used to be. Group dynamics and group learning is one such topic that has been kept in this transitional curriculum, which is fantastic one. And apart from the Ayurvedic curriculum, what else you need to know, and how the things, these common things are important in day-to-day activities and how they contribute in studies. So I think once, as I told earlier, whosoever had designed this transitional curriculum, he must be a wise man to put all these things in the transitional curriculum. So let's move on to the topic, and I will share my screen soon. So today's topic is group learning and group dynamics, how the group is formed and how the group operates, and what are the group dynamics are, why it is important to be in group, what are the factors that influence the bonding, cohesiveness in the group, and what that forces the individual to perform, and how the group operates, and how the group helps in learning the skills. So let us define what is group. Group consists of individuals who share common goals, who have common objectives to achieve, who are somewhat independent and have stable relationship and recognize the group's existence. Who have stable, who are somewhat independent, they are independent, but they follow the group ideology. They have stable relationship in a group, and feel that there should be a group's existence. Criteria for group formation. Now we have various WhatsApp group, and because of that, it's very easy to understand now how the groups are formed and how it operates. So involvement in social interaction. This is the basic things, and we share on social platform. Must be interdependent in some manner. We all in a group. For take example of our group only, T for teaching faculties, Jupiter family, and for students, BMS first year group. We are interdependent. For teaching faculty, you share the link to join for the program. In a way, we are interdependent both in both the groups. We share some information in the students group that is useful for the students, that is followed, that is learned by all the students. So we are interdependent in a manner. If I have to post any notice, and if I post in a group, that is learned by all the group members and they become aware of it. So we are interdependent. Relationship must be stable. As long as we adhere to the aims and objectives of the group, and we are part of a group, till then relationship should be stable. Must share at least some common goals. Yes, common goals. We share a common institution, and so whatever the activities related to the institution, we post there, and we have a common goal. we all want to orient the students. So here also, when we are joined with this program, we have a common goal to go through this transitional program, and that's why we are attending it. Sense of belongingness to the group. And when we get the information from the group, and when we largely gets benefited from the group activities, and many posts where they drop various posts in the group, they are knowledgeable, some PDF of the books, some good books, some practical training related videos, some YouTube videos of the Panchakarma procedures. So all these, and when the people, they support each other, when they have to fill some form, they drop a format of the form that you feel like this, like this. Someone asks, I'm facing the problem. Could you please help me by showing that form? Could you please guide me regarding that form, etc., etc. So when we interchange our mutual interest, then the sense of belongingness increases in the group. How group functions, roles, it determines which task will be performed by each member. Say for in an organization wherein you have a president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and the members. To the working group, we have assigned the job, what the secretary will look after the day-to-day functions of the particular group or organization. So his role is fixed. Treasurer's role is to handle the financial details of the organization or of the group. So likewise, when we fix the duties, they'll look after their individual duties. Say for instance, in our group, we have assigned the job of technicalities of this transitional program, to make someone co-host, to operate, if we have some problems regarding technical aspects, we have assigned this job to hardware. He's performing that role. Likewise, norms, rules to regulate the behavior of their members. So we have certain norms pertaining to different groups. If it is the educational group, we will say that don't post any other irrelevant posts here other than the curriculum. That message we often come across. You cannot post vulgar things in educational groups. Likewise, when the group is specifically designed for specific purpose, cohesiveness refers to the bonding, ghanishtata, what we share with the members of the group. It refers to all the positive and negative forces which causes individual to remain in the group. Positive factors or negative factors, which binds the members together. Cohesiveness increases when there is a good match between individuals' goals and group's goals. If they are the same, then cohesiveness increases. Say for instance, our group, our goals are same, to impart the knowledge to the students and to get the information about the college activities. And there is high cost associated with group living. If some of the member gets annoyed with anything and leaves the group, so what cost he has to bear? He will not get the proper information. It is what is happening in the college, in the institution, in the organization, in the group. He will be devoid of the information. He will not be updated. So those are all the cost of leaving the group. So, and that is the conversely, that is the benefit of remaining in the group, that you get most of the things. Group performance. So how the performance of the group is influenced by some factors. Because there is the drive theory of social facilitation by Cha Jung, put forward in 1965. He mentions that social facilitation refers to any effect on performance stemming from the presence of others. Say, for instance, if there is a large audience and we are supposed to talk before this large gathering, and if one is not well versed with for giving presentations before the large gathering, then he may tremble. He may feel some excitement, feel tension. His body may start tremoring. So he may get anxiety, fear of failure, impending doom. Cottrell and colleagues also mentioned that social facilitation derives from evaluation of apprehensions, concern over being judged by others. He thinks that whether my performance will be good, whether I will be able to deliver the things, whether I will say rightly, whether I will be able to convey my message properly. What will say if I fails to convey my message properly? What others will others may put blame to me. Others may put me the names. So another factor is concern over self-presentation, looking good for others. Whether my presentation, my appearance is good, whether I'm neatly dressed, etc., etc., whether people are observing me. So that impact, what log kya sochenge, log kya kahenge, that is also one factor. And distraction conflict theory by Baron in 1986 says that arousal came from conflict between two tendencies in the hands of a task performer. Which are those tendencies? Tendency to pay attention to the task in hand and tendency to direct attention to an audience. We will see what does it mean in subsequent slides. Task performed by group and determinants of efficiency of group. Additive tasks. Contribution of each member are combined into a single group's product. 10 की लकड़ी एक का बोझ. If all share their responsibilities, then it's going to get success. Now, say for instance, when we are conducting this transitional program, we have assigned some jobs to someone. Sneha madam is co-hosting. Hardware sir is looking after the technicalities of the online presentation, and other members, they are giving their inputs, valuable inputs from time to time. They are cooperating, they are giving their lectures. When we don't find the other guest speaker from outside, we ourselves prepare. When contribution from each member of the group, when there is such a form of contribution from each member of the group, this is called as additive task, and this enhances the performance of the group. Conjunctive task. The group's final product is determined by its weakest link by the poorest performing member. So, as in case, there may be some weak members in the group who may not be, if the fluency in English is no criteria, then some of us may not be fluent in English. Some of us may find it difficult to put their expressions, put their feelings, put their thoughts in English. Sometimes they may run short of the words. They may not get the proper words to express. Disjunctive tasks refers the group's product is determined by a single member. Most competent person sets the limit as to how should your performance should be, how you should introduce the guest, how you should thank the guest, what are the points you need to cover while giving the thanks. So the most competent person in the group, he sets the limit for all these things. Working in the group allows efficient division of labor. As I already mentioned, our work is distributed. That's why we can perform better It also individual to it also helps individual to pull knowledge and skills. So from hardware, sir, we are learning the technical skills, computer skills, knowledge of operating the Zoom window, how to share our presentation, etc., etc. Decision making by groups. Groups by and large make better decisions than individuals by pooling the expertise of their members and sharing of views. So it's always ek se bhale do. There is a saying in Hindi. If a single individual cannot make a decision properly, and if he is supported by the group members, and there, if we want a guidance regarding some issue or some point, individual may not have the entire knowledge of all those things, but group members, every member have something to add upon. So something is added by one member, something is added by another member, and that's how we come to know about many things pertaining to that particular subject. How groups reach to the decisions. Majority means scheme. Majority is the law, what we say. For solving judgmental tasks, and discussion strengthens most popular view. If that decision is supported by 2/3 members, then we say is the majority. Truth wins rules. For intellectual tasks, correct decision should be accepted by most group members. We may not like some decisions, but if they are true, if they are correct, we need to accept those. If for teaching in our college, we had said a criteria that teaching should be in English, although all are not competent, all are not efficient, but they should acquire a skill to deliver upon. All may not like this idea, but if the view is correct that ours is the English medium institution and all need to adhere to the idea, then everybody needs to, even then they may not like it, but since the decision is correct, they have to follow. Truth wins. 2/3 majority rule is the majority wins scheme only. Group decision making process, how the decisions are made in the group. Unanimous. It occurs when all agree without reservation. They are difficult for higher pressure situation. You see, when all agree, it is the unanimous decision. It is called as Sarvanumate. Sarvanumate Tharav Manju. In societies or in trusts, they put it as a Sarvanumate Tharav Manju. So it's a unanimous decision. When we have decided that we will follow the transitional program from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., it was our unanimous decision, and we all adhered to that. But they are difficult for higher pressure situation. If we extend it further till 6 p.m., it's a higher pressure, and it may not be agreed by all. So there are some excuses also. Consensus, when person agrees to support the decision, though all may not agree and give one's consent. So same situation arises that we need to carry it towards 5 p.m. Although we some of us may not agree, but gives consent. Okay, tum kehte ho, tum kar lo. That is the thing. Majority rule, when more than half the groups votes in favor of particular decision, this may prove to be less helpful later. That 50% individuals are against and 50% are with us. Then 50% is a considerable figure, which is against the idea. So they may not like it in long term. Expert. This type of situation is good when entire group's participation is not required. In this scenario, the group delegates rest the decision-making responsibility to an expert. When we were supposed to host the program and we were not knowing the technicalities of how to host, how to make the other people's mute, etc., Then we rested this decision to our expert, Dr. Hadwe, sir. He is looking after all those things very nicely, wonderfully. Executive, in execution, leader makes the call. Most decisions are executive. This approach is particularly critical when dealing with the vision and mission. We had put the vision and mission of the college and hospital. There you see at various corners of our college building and hospital building, we have displayed our vision and mission and how to execute those. So leader guides you, leader in a group, he guides you how to meet with those vision and mission. And what methodology we should follow, what norms we should follow, how our discipline should be, how our rules should be, etc. Default. In this scenario, a decision is made by action or inaction that forces conclusion. It is powerless form of decision making and should be avoided. So there are some default situations arising out of some extraordinary situations. In that time, the decisions are forced, but usually this thing should be avoided as we are making the decision in a group. Cross up group polarization, risky shift. When the group polarizes to some unwanted things, how it happens. Social comparison. Prior to group decision, individuals assume that they hold better view than the other members. When this conflict arises, that I have a better idea than others, this puts pressure upon them to shift to more extreme positions. And when other members support that notion, without considering the pros and cons of the situation, pros and cons of the future prospect of that particular thing, and when, as they do, the group as a whole moves in the direction of polarization. At that time, we don't know whether what likelihood it whether that will be positive or negative, but we polarize as a whole. Persuasive arguments. During group discussions, individual members present arguments that support their own views. Group may shift towards largely supported convincing argument. So we had taken a decision to deliver in English, and we have convinced how it is going to help us. So most of the members are convinced and they're followed. Group thing. Group may lose its decision-making capacity by collective ignorance, invulnerability or pressure towards conformity. Conformity, collective decision in a group. When something bad is posted by some members, and even though it should be opposed, and if we ignore it and we don't oppose it, then this shift occurs. That pressure that the group is not adhering to its own original ethics. Inability of the group to share the information. Each member brings the unique pattern of skill and knowledge for the task in hand, but non-sharing of such skills affects the performance of the group. For example, when we needed the technicalities for this smooth conduction of this program, and if the advisor had not cooperated us despite being the part of the group, then it would have been difficult for us to conduct it smoothly. Now, what is learning in the group? We will pay attention more to the second line. Group work or cooperative learning is a method of instruction that gets students to work together in a group and discover deeper meaning of the content and improves thinking skills and reach to the consensus. Now coming to the upper one, the collection of persons who are emotionally, intellectually, and aesthetically involving some art, engaged in solving problems and making assembly in which each person learns autonomously and through the ways of learning of others. So in a group learning, as a many people comes together, and if someone is having a skill, a particular skill, say for instance, our Ravi Pardesi sir is having a skill of giving DC cardioversion, and others are not. So he can teach to other members of the group. Likewise, not only the skills, some theory parts, some if we require information regarding uh, some various drugs, hardware sir may help. If we require some practical aspects of Panchakarma, Amit Barbode sir may contribute. If we require information regarding preventive social medicine regarding what is the current infant mortality rate, maternal mortality rate, they may provide the necessary information. Sorry. So this is group learning. Types of group learning: cooperative. Learners work on tasks leading to acquisition of subject matter, discover existing knowledge, its objectives and rationale. Say for instance, if the first year students are in a group and they start a group learning, what are the objectives and rationale of learning? They need to learn anatomy, physiology and samhita in the first. So they will limit their they will discover the existing knowledge with respect to these three subjects. Although they have 13 we have 13 subjects in BMS curriculum, but they will focus their attention on these three subjects, discover the existing knowledge with each other's cooperation. Some will get the 3D presentation of anatomical aspect. Some may get some good models. So each one having the peculiarity with them, they will show to each other. That's how the group learning contributes to the performance. Collaborative, again, share inquiry, individuals work together to construct the knowledge, leadership, organizational behavior and management. So collaborative, again, that is nothing but one sort of cooperation in a group. Transformative, revision of underlying expectation or perspectives pariprekshya, somehow changing behavior, attitudes or career. Examples of group learning strategies. So for learning in a group, they may evolve some strategies. What strategies could benefit them immensely for learning particular things? Discussions, obviously the main thing. When you discuss regarding something that what is gulma, many of us may not have the proper idea of what is gulma actually. When we discuss, when the learned peoples from Rog Nidana or Kaya Chikitsa people, they start putting their views, and we come across some 10-15 different various views, and when we make a consensus through the thorough discussions, that increases our knowledge regarding that particular thing. Gaming, a role play, for example. Role play is important as far as we are concerned. What is the gait of paralytic patient? If the gait is circumducted, and if one imitates that, he gets himself in the role of paralytic patient, and he imitates the gait of circumducting gait of paralytic individual, then everybody gets the idea that this is the gait of paralytic individual. Shuffling gait, a Parkinsonism. If person gets himself in the position of Parkinson's patient and imitates the shuffling gait, then everybody gets the idea about that through that one person's role play, that everyone gets the idea that such and such gait of that particular patient, and it appears like that. Simulation is also it's one sort of it's role play only. It's like it's the role play. Projects, we assign different types of projects to the students, that some should work on Nasya, some should work on Vaman, some should work on Virechan, some should work on other in Guduchi drugs, some should work on this drug. Likewise, and through that project, they work particular things over the period of time, and lot of information is gathered. And when they share with their group members, they are also largely benefited in turn. Experimental activities, this is the area concerned with the post-graduation. And when in a group, PG students, they perform experiments on animals in vitro and in vivo studies, and come to some certain conclusions, and they may share this information to the group, and that I had performed such and such experiment and I came to this conclusion, that eating, say for instance, eating the kapha provocatives, it leads to the diabetes. And if they have performed this experiment on animals and they proved the things, benefits of group learning. That's what we have discussed up till now. Higher academic achievement. We are largely benefited from groups experience, because the experience is from different members of the group, and we at the time we as or the individual member as such may not get the information on individual's performance, but in a group there are so many members who share so much of the information, and in turn individual member is also get benefited. So greater persistence through learning, better high level critical thinking and reasoning. So when we discuss one point, and that say for instance, in some books it is told that the lakshana of kapha vriddhi as a sandhi vishlishta. When we discuss it in a group, and someone puts the different view, that Bhagavata has mentioned sandhi bandhan as the karma of the kapha, and when kapha increases, how that is going to cause the sandhi vishlesha. And when he puts n number of references of the various commentators, Dalana, Chakrapani, etc., saying that even Dalana says that it should not be sandhi vishlishtata, but the sandhi shlishtata. When all of a sudden you go through other commentary of the Chakrapani on Sushruta Bhanumati, and in that it is clearly mentioned that it is the sandhi shlishtata. It increases the bonding of the joint. Then whosoever are following this concept over the period of time since the inception of CCIM and all the books, they are going like Gatanugatika Lokaha, Andanukaran. They all of a sudden gets wiser and thinks that no, this is the likely possibility. This is why this is possible. This is from the group. Otherwise, they would have followed the wrong notion. Deeper understanding of learned material. That's what it encompasses in this aspect only, which I lamented upon. Lower levels of anxiety and stress. There is a less fear of failure and stress, as other members are included. If someone asks regarding some information and his views on this subject, and if the individual member is not having, he is relaxed, so that there are other members, they may put their views. After that, I will put my views. So the anxiety is reduced and stress is reduced. That is shared by the other group members. Greater intrinsic motivation to learn and achieve. As some of the members are there performing better and better, so other members also get motivated to perform better. I see other teachers are performing better in English. Why can't we? We should also master it. We should improve our performance. They learn and achieve. greater ability to view situation from others' perspective. Not only from our perspective, दूसरे का क्या सोचना है इसके बारे में, दूसरे का परिप्रेक्ष्य क्या, दूसरे के परिप्रेक्ष्य में क्या है. Had I been in that condition, a refined understanding through discussions and explanations, develop stronger communication skills, and over the period of time, it so happens that with Sangati Sanga Doshan, आपने यहाँ जिसके साथ if you learned लोगों की संगत किया, you are going to learn from his experiences and his expertise. Say for instance, when Ravi sir is working with the cardiologist, he's going to get well versed with the cardiological procedures. When you are going to work in a intensive care unit, there you are going to master those intensive care skills. And when you witness the activities of group, and when there is other people's communicate their message, and you in turn also you initially you stumble for communication, there is communication gap, and over the period of time you get the idea how to communicate, and you develop a communication skill, and you convey your message properly. Break complex tasks into parts. You see, in corona pandemic, if you are not getting answer how to treat corona, then the scientists all over in the world, they are finding the ways. They have some task has been assigned to someone, some task has been assigned to someone. While developing this vaccine, also some task is assigned to some people's, some task is assigned to some people's. So the task distribution of the work, that helps in the improving the performance in the group. Give and receive feedback on performance. Well, there are some disadvantages of working in the group. It can create conflicts among members if different personalities clash in a team combined with ineffective communication. If in a group there is the communication between the group members is not proper, and some messages are their interest or misinterpreted, then there is a conflict in the group, and this the members start quarreling over that point, and here comes the problem. Consumption of time. When we as an individual work, we are focused on one aspect, and when we work as a group, then we are always inclined to see what the group is doing, and very oftenly we just open the WhatsApp group and see what the group is doing, what the group members are doing. Is there any message? We keep on searching, and we are made to see very often. That wastes the time. Different ideas and opinions. You see, some ideas or some opinions may not be liked by the group members, even if they are true. यार ये मेरी लगाता है, मुझे इसके विचार नहीं पड़ते, फिर भी ग्रुप में रहना पड़ता है. सो ग्रुप में रहे तो वो सब झेलना पड़ता है, ग्रुप के एथिक्स के हिसाब से चलना पड़ता है. So that is one of the disadvantages. It may be against the person's wish, but seeing the larger interest, he may remain in a group. Being silent in disagreement, and given the nature that what other members will call us, or what other members will think about us, even when he doesn't like any idea, he doesn't put his or her view on that. So true things are not expressed. Social pressures. There are social pressures that you behave in a particular way. You put your things in a particular way. There are at times there is no chance for opposition. You have to accept the things as it is. Avoiding certain important decisions, though you feel something important, but in a larger interest, you give it up. Lastly, the group dynamics. It refers to the force operating in the group. It is concerned with the dynamic interaction of the individuals in a face-to-face relationship. When we as a teacher work in a teaching institution and we face each other was face-to-face, one-to-one, and we call a meeting and we have to take many decisions, that time everybody puts their views regarding conduction of any program or anything other activity. So there is dynamic interaction between the group members. As a leader, understanding the group dynamics is essential in order to both compose and guide the individuals within the group for successfully accomplishing the task. So I, as a principal, need to guide the individuals, guide the teachers, what to do, what not to do, how we should arrange the programs for its success. Previously, we arranged a Shiv Jayanti program, and that time we asked, we had given different tasks to the different peoples, that who will anchor the program, who will make the arrangement for sound system, who will make the arrangement for, who will make the setting arrangement, who will bring the garlands, likewise, who will sing a song, who will give the speech, etc., etc. And the composite effect of this, of all these things, is the success in that particular task. Group dynamic aims at improving the performance of the group and achieving the goal by applying effective techniques. So, for example, when this transitional curriculum program first we noticed, and when we gone through it, and we decided that we will conduct it offline in a physical presence, because the intention of this transitional program was such good that it should be conducted in a physical presence. But Corona pandemic didn't allow us to do that. So we found, we tuned to the plan B, and we found this online platform. So to conduct it successfully, we bought some effective techniques, like we purchased the Zoom app. It's a paid version, so that we can conduct it for an entire day. Likewise, principally, group members should have a strong belonging towards the group and should have common motives. So as of now, we are having the common goals and common motives. Group survives by placing the members into functional hierarchy and facilitating the action towards a goal. A functional hierarchy refers to the, in our setup, it refers to the promotion as a professor, as a reader, and setting the goal for them. For students, we may assign someone, any of the student as a group leader, their group leader. As we used to see in various classes. And we assign a job to him that look after the class. Tell who is disturbing the class. And in turn, and that puts the pressure on other things, the other individuals of the group, and the things are ensured in a proper manner. So friends, this was all about group and group dynamics. Hopefully you got enough idea of the regarding the group learning and being in the group, and benefits of being in the group. And they must have included this topic keeping in certain intentions in mind. So we can discuss upon this. Thank you. What time is it
Thank you,
now?
sir.
4:48.
Definition of a group, how group functions, how the task performed by groups, what is the group decision making process, and describe the causes of group polarization, then group learning, their types, various examples of group learning strategies, their benefits, and group dynamics. Thank you, sir, for such wonderful session.
हा मॅडम मी प्रोग्राम मध्ये आहे. प्रोग्राम चालू आहे, गेस्ट लेक्चर चालू आहे माझं. थोड्या वेळ करू का कॉल?
सर पोरांचे फॉर्म पाठवायचे, त्याच्यावर सह्या पाहिजे आहेत तुमच्या. आणि आपले फॉर्म नाही गेले, सगळ्या कॉलेजचे फॉर्म गेले.
नाही नाही झाल्या ना सह्या, 40 सह्या झाल्या त्या दिवशी.
कुठं झाल्या सर? रिपीटर मुलांचा रिझल्ट लागला, कुठे झाल्या सह्या?
किंवा मला सांगितलं नाही ना त्यांनी रिपीटर मुलांचं. मी थोड्या वेळाने कॉल करतो.
द्यायला पाहिजे ना.
येस, गो ऑन.
Sorry for the interruption. There is some connectivity issues. I think our next guest here to join. Sir, our guest join.
Yes. Another beautiful thing we missed in our morning session was the teaching methodology in Ayurveda. The last part was Tadvit Sambhasha. In today's context, that was that is seminars, symposiums, conferences, CMEs, etc. So I think if I'm able to get that. Can you all see this?
No, sir.
Is it visible? No.
No, sir. Just a
Huh?
minute.
Is it visible?
No. Just a minute, sir. I have to. You can share, sir, but it is not visible right now.
Okay.
Yes.
I think it is visible now.
Yes, it is going to. Yes, it is visible, sir.
The last point regarding the teaching methodology was Tadvid Sambhasha. Sambhasha Vidimat Urdhva Vyakhya Syamaha Vishak Vishaja Sah Sambhavet. It is in between the doctors. Tadvid Sambhasha hi Dhyana bhi yoga sangharshakari bhavati. Vaisharadyam api cha vinivarteti vachan shaktim api chadate yashascha abhidipati. So Tadvid Sambhasha makes the pleasant sensation, and it gives a chance to interact with the Vaisharad, means the experts, and it enables ones to present the things. Vachan Shakti Pichadate, and gives the success. Purva Shrute Sandevat Puna Shravanat Shruta Sansham Apakarshati. If there is doubt regarding something learned previously, and if that doubt is not clear, then individual get a chance to clear that doubt through these seminars or continuously organized semis or conferences. Bhuyo adhyavasayam abhinivarteti ashrutam api cha kinchid artha shrotram vishayam apadeti. And we also get a chance to learn the things which we never ashrutam, which we never heard of, and the things, the procedures. So these seminars, they give us a chance to learn the unlearned things. यच्च आचार्यः शिष्याय शुश्रुवे प्रसन्नः क्रमेण उपदिशन्ति गुह्याभिमतम् अर्थजात तत् परस्परेण सह जल्पन पिंडेन विजिगीषुपुरः संघर्षात् तस्मात् विद्य संभाषा तद्विद संभाषाम् अभिप्रशंसति कुशलः. Why this tadvid संभाषा is interaction between the intellectual peoples on a platform of seminar, conference, or CME or symposium is highly appreciated, because it gives us a chance to learn variety of the things in a sense. The Acharya is saying that Yacharya Shishya Shushuve Prasannaha Pramena Upadeshanti. Even when the student gives lot of service to the teacher, and after that, with that service, when the teacher gets pleased, and when that after the pleasing with the service of the student, and the teacher delivers some knowledge to the student, he has to give so much of the efforts for taking that knowledge. But with this Sambhasha, he readily gets the knowledge. And it so happens that परस्परेण सह जल्पन पिंडेन विजिगीषुपुरः, एक दूसरे के साथ communicate करते हुए, in this when the intellectuals interact with each other, and they एक दूसरे पे विजय पाना चाहते हैं, when they want to place their superiority, उस हर्ष में they give that knowledge, that hidden knowledge which we are unable to get even with our regular study. So this is the importance of attending the Tadvid Sambhasha in modern context, seminars, conferences, and seminars. So you see very great and very precise idea of modern day seminars, CMEs, symposiums, various conferences are mentioned, is mentioned in our science. That was a precise thinking by our acharyas. They had indicated about all the things, and moreover, I will stop here for as far as Tadvid Sambhasha is concerned, because
Yes.
there are other parts, Vigruya Sambhasha, Jalpa, Vitanda, etc. I will not go into the details. Only my intention was that what is the teaching methodology and how it is imparted, and how it should be interpreted in today's context. So I hope I had given the proper indication of the things, and proper interpretation of the things mentioned in ancient science in today's context. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. The next case has arrived.
Yes.
So, introduction, brief introduction of the sir. Dr. Jose Rob Ribeiro, Junior Acharya Narayananda, Doctor of Medicine, specialized in intensive care and postgraduate studies in Ayurveda. Yoga Acharya by Shuddha Dharma Mandalam. Sir is the president of institution brought together as a Shuddha Yoga and Ayurveda. President at Kalayasa Ayurved Clinics, Shri Vajera Foundation, Brahma Vidyalaya Yoga School, Shuddha Sabha Yoga Ashram, and Annapurna Natural Foods. There is a coordinator of Ayurveda postgraduate course at the Italo Brasileira University, Brazil. There is the president of the World Yoga and Ayurveda movement in Ayurveda sector. He is a member of the International Academy of Ayurveda at Pune. Sir is a member of the editorial board of several international scientific journals also. So welcome, sir.
Very warm welcome, sir. Good afternoon.
Thank you.
It's so pleasing and so nice to see you here on our platform for guiding our students. So please, sir.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Nice to come to you with this new technology. We can stay here in Brazil and talk with you in India. And thank you for the invitation to talk something about my trajectory in the Ayurvedic field, in the Vedic science field. Um, First of all, I would like to start with a mantra, and I ask to you to follow me. Put your hands in Pranamudra. Om Shano Mitra Sham Varunaha Shanno Bhavat Variyama Shanna Indro Brihaspatihi Shanno Vishnu Rurukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva pratyaksham brahmasi Tvameva pratyaksham brahma vadishyani Rupam vadishyami Satyam vadishyami Tanmamavatu Tatvaktaramavatu Avatu mam Avatu vaktaram Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. Dr. Subhash Vagi asked me to talk something about my trajectory in this field of Ayurveda and yoga and Vedic knowledge. I can start with my teenage, around 14 age. I start to inquire, sorry, to inquire what my own nature, who I am, what is the real nature of the things. Some philosophical asking in my inner heart. And then comes to my hands one version in Portuguese in of the Bhagavad Gita and some Upanishads. And when I start to read, to study these books, I find there the really truth. I find my very familiar things. Different of all of the another science, I get there the answer for many of my questions about the life. And then I went deep in this knowledge. I study very much about that, and I find one old sampradaya or school of Ayurveda or Vedic knowledge in India called Shuddha Dharma Mandalam. His headquarters in that time was in Chennai, Madras. And then I have contact with one branch of this school in South America. They had one branch in Chile, and I contact there one of great seer of this knowledge. His name was Vajra Yogidasa, and he comes to my guru. I stay with him for 10 years, studying deeply about the Vedanta, Vedic knowledge, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, and many of another books, and start intense sadhana in my activities. And then when I choose my profession around 17, I choose medicine because I use this as a seva, a service for our masters. I get the idea. This is form of to serve this knowledge, curing and prevent disease with medicine. My own preference was in astronomy, astrophysics, mathematics, but I realized that medicine is a very important form to serve the people, to serve the masters, and to serve this spiritual knowledge. And I do my graduation in medicine here in Brazil, in one federal university here. When I finished my graduation, I all the time start to know to think how to put together my scientific knowledge about medicine, how to serve the people, but with this spiritual knowledge comes to Sanatana Dharma. I have studied and practiced for many years before. And then I do my post graduation in internal medicine. After that, in intensive care and cardiology. And for 15 years, I take care. I was the boss, the chief of one big intensive care center in our region here in Brazil, the biggest intensive care unit, general, and comes many patients for all the problems, very difficult problems, because in disease help me to understand more about physiology, about physiopathology, and to help the people. In intensive care, we feel like omnipotent people because we can help the people don't go to another side of the reality, and I get many experience about the treatment of heart attack. And all the time I thinking how to put together this traditional knowledge in Sanatana Dharma and my scientific knowledge in medicine, in how to help the people with the biggest problem. You know, the most important cause of death in the world is heart attack. Is very, very most important than COVID. Today, uh, get dead one people per second in the world because heart attack. All the technology they get in the hospital is was very important to reduce the mortality, hospital mortality. When I start this work in the 1980, 1985, 30% of the people dead in the hospital because the heart attack. 30% of the people uh, have death before to reach the hospital. One decade after that, with the streptokinase, and one decade more with the primary angioplasty, this mortality reduced for the 7.5%. Is one big knowledge and big conquer for the technology to help to reduce from 30% to 75% in hospital people to get the hospital. But the mortality before to reach the hospital maintained in 30% till today. And the number of infarctions increased a lot. From 2002, 13% or 13 people dead before, 30 people have dead per minute because the heart attack. And now 1 person for second, 60 persons per minute. And why this increase? A lot like that. The most important cause is because the developing countries in the world, developing Brazil, India, Russia, China, South Africa, we was proud to take people from the misery to these people for median class. Millions of people in our countries comes to the median class economical talking. This is meaning they can buy food. They come from the misery to the median class. They can buy food. But which kind of food they buy? The food for death. Our emotions don't do exercise, and the worst food increase this pathology a lot. Lifestyle, because we have more facilities in the life, our lifestyle decrease and produce disease. And then around 1995, I start to study something to put together this traditional knowledge in Sanatana Dharma and my profession in medicine after my post graduation. And then I find Ayurveda. Ayurveda for me is the best system to put together the new technology, the new knowledge in modern medicine with traditional knowledge. And then I start to study alone and study with some doctors in USA like David Frawley, Vasant Lad. And in 1997, I was to India. I come to India and I start to study there in your country. I went to Badrinath, one place for most important sacred place in the world for my tradition. Stay there for some time, meditating and talking with some seers, some rishis there. And I came to Pune in Maharashtra, your state, and get there, contact with some university like Tilak University, and with the International Academy of Ayurveda with Professor Subhash Ranade, Sunanda Ranade, Avinash Lele, Bharati Lele, and all the team for the this academy. And then we come to Brazil and create one big school here. Here we have a biggest school of Ayurveda in South America. We have more than 4,000 students. They do 1-2 years course. They comes for different professions and do 1-2 years course about Ayurveda, training here we create one ashram. We created one ashram in the center of the country. This place called the Shuddha Sabha Yoga Ashram. Shuddha Sabha Yoga Ashram. Yoga and Ayurveda Ashram. And now I live here with my family in this ashram. But we spread for many cities in Brazil, the north to south, in all of South America, in Europe, in Portugal, Spain, Italy, and many French and other countries. These courses of Ayurveda and create clinics. And here we do all complete programs of Panchakarma in our country, in this place. In the ashram, we plant many of Ayurvedic plants. We have all these Ayurvedic plants here to uh, to do research. Till now, not for the commercial purpose, but we give this for the many places, many prescription of our students in all the country. And I would like to show you a little 1 minute video to show this for you. If possible, I here, okay. Há 46 anos como sadhaka a praticar a cultura védica e o yoga de síntese. Há 23 anos tenho me dedicado a estabelecer o Ayurveda como um sistema completo de saúde, junto com os valores da cultura védica no Brasil, na América do Sul e Europa. Fundamos um genuíno ashram no centro do país, o Shuddha Sabha Yoga Ashram, onde temos um grande jardim de plantas medicinais ayurvédicas, uma fábrica de produtos alimentares dentro do conceito ayurvédico, a Kalayasa Ayurvedic Clinic, onde realizamos autênticos panchakarmas de acordo com a tradição, atendendo milhares de pessoas, a escola Yoga Brahma Vidyalaya, com milhares de alunos de Yoga, Ayurveda, Jyotish no Brasil e em muitos outros países, e também a Kalayasa Aushadhi, a farmácia de preparação dos medicamentos. Com a Fundação Srivajra, estamos implantando o Ayurveda no sistema público de saúde no Brasil. Venha conhecer e participar conosco da expansão do Ayurveda. Namastê. So this is a short video. I'm sorry, this is in Portuguese, but you could see some image for our ashram here. We create Kalayasa clinics. Kalayasa is the name of one ancient sage of Ayurveda. We find that in some books here, and we create one foundation with the name of our master Srivajra Yogidasa, the Srivajra Foundation. With this foundation, we promote Ayurveda and Yoga in the public health system. In Brazil, we have SUS, S-U-S, one complete health system for all the population. It's the free system for the population in the three levels, in the primary level, the second level, in the third level, in the more technological level also, with hospitals and clinics. And we have here one model of use of Ayurveda with the modern medicine in the attention of the people. We do the free treatment for them, for the population, with our students, the our team here, we have many therapists, doctors, nutritionists, physiotherapists, for different kinds of professions they come. And now our Minister of Health put inside in the integrative system of health Ayurveda. Ayurveda is one part of this health system, and then we can do these models of practice of Ayurveda. In the scientific point of view, only three things can help the people to reduce the incidence of heart attack, like I said before. One is the perfect nutrition. Another is perfect exercise and the positive mind. Only three things. Is more important than use of fibratos and use of different kinds of to reduce cholesterol, medicines and modern technology for prevent this that, because you can see one pathology in the first symptom is death in 30% of cases. I repeat, in 30% of people to have heart attack, the first symptom is death. For that, they have only one form to take care of that. This is about prevention. And Ayurveda help us to prevent. We have very success to prevent with Ayurveda. Because all the people of Ayurveda is enthusiastic with this knowledge. You can see many conferences have talked before me, and you can see the enthusiasm of them with Ayurveda, have the passion with Ayurveda. In our modern medicine, it's not common. Our doctors have this same enthusiasm with the medicine, and many times we don't practice what we suggest for the patient. For that, we don't have authority because we don't practice nothing about that. And then now we put Ayurveda and study Charak Samhita, Sushruta Samhita, Ashtanga Hridaya, the Lagutraya, prepare many documents about Ayurveda and do some research. Now one committee in our health of ministry, they create one committee about the study of Ayurveda, scientific studies about Ayurveda. And we have a lot of things to do here, not here only, but in all the world. And your participation in India, your support in India, now we have a good support of Ayush Ministry. The last years, the Minister of Ayush have see the importance of Ayurveda and yoga for all of the world. And then the government of India in the last decade, the last years, have they give the importance of yoga and Ayurveda. This knowledge is very important. The India export this knowledge for all of the world. Practice, of course, with you, because you have to give us all the basis for these activities, no? Because for us, our authority comes from you go to India and see that live, working, doing results. And then we have this argument in all the countries and here to show for our authorities the importance of Ayurveda as part of one integrative practice of medicine. This occasion for COVID, very difficult problem, the government, the Minister of Ayush prepared one protocol, very good protocol, and they test this protocol in many parts of India. And this protocol come to Indian embassy here in Brazil, and the Indian embassy create one group of studies in Brazil with our people to translate this protocol and adapt this protocol to our country. And here in our city, in the center, this is called the Uberlândia, Araguari, the city, in the center of the country, in Minas Gerais. We adapted this protocol and putting the Secretary of Health here in the city to prevent and to help to treat using both modern medicine and Ayurveda to treat these patients and to prevent. And our results was very good. Of course, this is difficult for one big country like Brazil, like India, but our efforts for this in that way. And now we are creating one pharmacy here, and some herbs we import from India, and many of these herbs we have here, because around the 1500 year, the Portuguese peoples come to Brazil and go to India, comes to India and come to Brazil. And for that possible, we have many plants, identical plants in India and Brazil. We have identified more than 120 plants, the same botanical plants in Brazil and in India. Now we are studying if these same plants have the same therapeutic effects. We have studying that. For example, we have neem here, we have guduchi, we have nirgundi, and many another plants. But we have to study because the difference of weather, the difference of soil, difference of water, if we have the same effects. You have in India different weathers in different parts of India, but our weather, our soil, our air here, our environment in this region is very similar your region in Maharashtra. I know your college is in Nagpur. I went in Nagpur once in one conference there, and I saw Nagpur, Varda, Pune, all these regions have very similar environment like here in our region. The weathers, the climate in different colors is very similar here. For that, these plants grow very well in our country. And now we have to study all of this together. I would like to thanks to Dr. Subhash Wage. Thanks to you. I know most of you are students to start the BAMS, no? And I hope you go in the future. You can come to our country to help us to implant Ayurveda here And of course, when this situation is open in the world, of course, I go to India and visit you. Every year, we go to the students to India. For 20 years, every year, I take one group of students here, and we go to Pune, to the place for a spiritual purpose, but also to study Ayurveda, to train Ayurveda with them. Once again, go ahead in the study of Ayurveda, in your research, go deeply, and God bless of all of you. And thank you, Dr. Subhash Baghe. Thank you, all Jupiter Ayurvedic College, for this invitation. And I am here to participate with you in all the situations, in all the everything you need from you, from our side. Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste. Thank you very much, sir. Dr. Jose Roge, sir, is like a rishi. He is a modern rishi. He is a modern medical graduate, postgraduate in internal medicine, then specialization. He had done specialization in cardiology. He was working in a ICU, handling ICU as an in charge, and then he turned to Ayurveda. And now he has attended the Brahmarshi Pada in Ayurveda. I met sir many times, in many conferences, even in Varda, in Ahmedabad, in Pune, especially when sir came with his group of Brazilian students. I was there to orient them in. Sir arranged one lecture on cardiology, myocardial infarction in Ayurveda of mine. And not only this, sir had I had a privilege to have his foreword to my book on approach and update to cardiology in Ayurveda. I know I was really blessed with his blessings, and sir is continuously motivating us. And I think Dr. Sundar is here. When we are in process of getting ISSN number for our international journal, and sir is in editorial board of the international journal. Now we have got that ISSN number and impact factor also. And when we were supposed to conduct a meeting in that regard, online only, because Corona pandemic prevented us from doing that. And I think Dr. Sundar is here and sir is here. Sundar sir needed to thank the sir for his cooperation, for being on our editorial board.
Sir, very good afternoon, sir. Myself, Dr. Kedanga. Due to Dr. Baghe, sir, I have the opportunity to interact with sir, and it is our pleasure to have with our editorial board member. I especially thank you, sir, for your kind support, and our journal is running now in a great way. We also get indexing from some international agencies, and it is only possible because of Dr. Baghe, sir. We got the sir as an international editorial board member, and we thank you, sir, very much. If I can share it, my journal's editorial page, if possible, or permitted by our host.
Yes, you can.
Yes.
Thank you for the invitation. I will help you in all the possibilities we can.
Yes, sir. Yes, you can see here, this is our journal, International Journal of Indian Medicine. And it is our honor to have sir with us as an editorial advisory board member in an international faculty. So,
Yeah.
There is no voice.
I hope sir will continue to bless us, and hopefully as and when the situation improves, we will call him at Nagpur at our college. previously, sir had given me the invitation to visit the Brazil, and unfortunately, during that time only, when I can you hear me all?
Yes,
Yes,
sir, yes.
Yeah.
And when actually when sir gave me invitation to visit the Brazil, and that tour was almost of 1 month, and I applied to the Brazilian embassy. They gave me the visa, and but unfortunately only that time this pandemic started, and that prevented my visit to the Brazil. Otherwise I would have greatly I would have got great help of him, and greatly blessed, and I would have got a chance to interact with Brazilian students, and to get acquainted with the atmosphere there, and to see sir's ashram there. Sir, really, we love you, we appreciate you, and we see you as a rishi in Ayurveda.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the invitation. Have a good symposium, and thank you again. Namaste.
Swaraj,
Something?
Anyone want to ask anything to sir?
Yes, yes. Sir, sir, can I?
Yes, yes, please.
So good afternoon, sir. This is Dr. Raviraj Pardesi. I am professor in physiology here. And I cannot stop myself expressing that I am glad to see that you started the meeting by reciting the Shanti Mantra from Taittiriya Upanishad. And I'm doing the PhD on Panchakosha, which is a part of Taittiriya Upanishad, and would definitely want to get in touch with you, because I suppose that you must have studied that part of Taittiriya Upanishad also in depth as far as its functional aspects are concerned. This is one. And second, I would like to congratulate you on having done the great work by transforming the lives of people there in Brazil. Because as I could see that you brought the number of those affected with the cardiovascular element down to a significant level. And the number which you have told us is not a joke. And it is not possible without dedication, without utmost effort. And here in India, we are not able to achieve that yet. Let me be very frank in accepting that. Even if the work is done, we don't have that much data which can be put on a scientific platform. But you have done that successfully. So I salute you. Thank you. And I'll get your number from Wage sir, and I'll get in touch with you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Raviraj. This is for me, the most important mantra is the Taittiriya Upanishad, the
Yes.
open to Samaveda, no? Samaveda, Shano, Mitra, Sham, Varunaha.
Yes,
Is-
yes,
Thank
yes.
Sir is having great knowledge of Indian literature. Even
Hmm.
the unknown granthas like Halayudha, etc. He had quoted so many references in his foreword. When he wrote a foreword to my book, he had given so much of the references from various ancient Indian literature that even we were ignorant about those things.
No, it's great to know this.
may I, sir?
Yes, I suppose that our students had got motivated with this sir's address to us, and they must be willing to go to Brazil also, and they would be visiting faculty sometimes in their life, and I wish them all the best. And this program was actually designed for this type of motivation only, and I think this is the last lecture of our entire transitional program, conducted for 14 days, and tomorrow we will have a online hospital visit to Gaukars Dham. That is also one international hospital, Ayurvedic hospital, wherein international patients they come and stay and get cured. After that, we will have an online Upanayan Sanskara for students, newly admitted students. That's we are going to implement from this year.
May I, sir?
Yes, yes, please. It's over to you now.
Thank you, Dr. Jose, sir. Sir had really given a blissful lecture and really boost to our students and our faculty also. It's really good to see, sir. That this is our last lecture, and we are going to end the lecture in such a beautiful manner. So thank you so much, sir.
So we will allow the sir to leave now the meeting, and please kindly convey tomorrow's message to the students.
Yes, tomorrow there will be a hospital visit, online hospital visit for the students. And as Dr. Wadhekar, our principal sir, explained to the student at morning that there will be a Upanayan Samskar, online Upanayan Samskar for the students. So please convey students your reply for that, and we'll conduct accordingly.
And all needed to be present with the necessities which I have mentioned in the group. Okay. So bye for now, everyone, and we will meet tomorrow again. Okay. So thanking you. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you. We are concluding here.
Yes. So we can end the meeting now.
We are going to conclude. Thank you
Yes.
to all.